Welcome to the Pagan Playground, week 47. Ow. How important is magic to your life? Did we not just answer that? Somewhere in here? It seems like I have done this question before. How would it be different if you never used magic? Now, when I see a question like this and phrased kind of in that way, how important is magic? I think spell work. So, to me, they're one and the same. It's semi-important. Like, for me, I don't just randomly go, I want a spell to help my garden grow. To me, I have to have an emergency need for it, To me, spell work is the last chance scenario type of thing. It's not something I take lightly. It's usually a need for it. It's when all other processes fail, and I discussed that in this year's prosperity question there. So it is important because it's another way to kind of, being the sort of logical, analytical one that's like, okay, here's a problem. I'm not one to go, oh my god, it's a problem, what do I do? I'm like instant computer where I'm like, okay, here's the problem. Steps to take to solve problem. Here's 30 of them, pick one, Hi, Gemini. So yeah, in magic and spell work is like another tool to use. It's a nice tool to have where like people who don't use it might be at that last resort where you had that one extra step I can take. Especially when, for me, like having anxiety, just to have that sort of comfort of the fact that this is something I can use, it's kind of an ease of mind type of thing. I don't know how that is for other people. Well, how would it be different if you never used magic? Considering the things that have happened in my world since following the path, I don't know. Don't know. I don't see it being that much more positive. Probably less so. Yeah. Like I said, it's a nice tool to have. I feel more in control because I'm not relying on, you just still kind of like that Christian voice is like, you should not be doing that. But it's like, when you're a Christian, you're taught, pray to whichever version of God and Jesus and all that stuff, Mary, that you do. And you just sort of like, okay, well, I need this, pray. Well, it might happen. Oh, is it that? Okay, anytime now? Yeah, sure. And it's like, you're expecting other people to solve your problems. But you can't trust the fact, you're supposed to like trust the fact that it will eventually. And it's like, well, I don't want to wait that long. It's like, but with the pagan path, I'm in control. I can dictate, like, okay, here's, like I said, this is the problem. I can actively participate in solving the problem. The universe or the Lord and Lady might not solve it in the way particularly that I'm, wanting, but it's like I'm actively participating in trying to make the problem better, not just go, Lord and Lady, can you? So it's a teamwork type of thing. So just in the fact that there is that sort of, active participation, that in itself, I feel, helps solve the problem. So yeah, not having that, it's like being in the ocean. Before, sure, you've got a boat, but it's like, okay, I've got a tiny little leak. Well, you could sit there with your thumb over it. It's like, hey, my arm's cramping, God help. With paganism, it's like, okay, well, light up some incense, and then suddenly there's some duct tape. It's like, just, you feel, or there's an oar suddenly, it's like, oh yeah, I can paddle. It's like, there's something tangible about being able to do that. So, for me, I like how it's different the fact that I can do it, have that option. I'm still learning, obviously. I'm trying to get, I try not to be frivolous when doing things like that. I try to have a specific goal, but then being the air element, and I think everybody kind of knows me now. It's like, okay, we get the idea. 15,000 repetitive words later. So, it's important I do it on a necessary basis. I don't want to know what it'd be like if it was, I don't know. That's the best I can do. So that was my confused week 47. How important is magic in your life? How would it be different if you never used magic? But then through kind of like the course of your lifetime looking back, you kind of realize, oh, I guess I was doing that, wasn't I? So, whatever. So thank you for watching, and blessed be.